All right, here we go. Rematch number 1. They played last week. This is odd. Conference USA title game, 10:30 Pacific, Saturday, CBS College Sports. Middle Tennessee is at home. This opened 2. It's down to 2.5. It's down to 1.5. 45.5 the total. They played last week. UAB was a 3-point road favorite. They got beat 27-3. They had 89 total yards and -1 rushing yards. There was their first conference loss in Middle Tennessee. I thought it was a good bet because you had a team that had to win to get in against a team that had nothing to play for. But everything went wrong for UAB before the game with guys out, injuries, flu, everything. Guys leaving, guys get hurt in warm-up. Everything went wrong for UAB before they even kicked.
Sure. But again, they got 89 total yards in that ballgame. Now, we have to note in that game, okay? Let's see. The offensive line was a nightmare for UAB. The right guard, Power, was ejected in the second quarter. The left guard was sick. Cook, the guy didn't play at all. They were down to their third-string center for that ball game. So basically, the middle of the offensive line, right guard, left guard, center, none of the starters were able to go after the second quarter of that ball game. 2 of the 3 didn't play at all, and it clearly affected their ability to control the line of scrimmage. The quarterback, Ederle, he had a rough game, 9 of 20 for 90 yards. He was under pressure. And of course, the -1 rushing yards has mostly to do with sack numbers. Ederle was under pressure throughout in that ball game. But the offensive line for UAB could be fully healthy. All 3 starters that were out last week could be back here. That is not 100% yet, but it is quite possible for the Blazers. So what we saw defensively last week with Middle Tennessee just dominating the line of scrimmage may not be so easy to do the second week in a row.
Well, I wonder if they go back to Johnson, the freshman quarterback who moved the ball against A&M as they had a opening kickoff return for a touchdown, a fumble. They missed 3 field goals and an extra point, or they would have got the cover in that game. Or we'll see if they go back to the upperclassmen. And as we tape on Wednesday, that's stuff to follow. What's going to happen with the line? And also Spencer Brown, their leading rusher, questionable as well. So that's everything to look at there. Now with Middle Tennessee, as they get this home game, they're 8-4, and their losses were non-conference. They hung in there at Kentucky. They did lose one conference game against Florida International, which was a strange game as they had some turnovers in that one. Blown out to start the season against Vandy. But it would be a feel-good story if they can win here, sending the coach-quarterback duo out, father-son, with a win at home to win the conference title.
Sure, and again, the quarterback, Brent Stockstill's been, I feel like he's been there for 12 years. I think it's 6. He had a redshirt season, and then he had an injury season, but he's been there for a long time. But he is a senior quarterback who obviously knows the system, being that his dad's the head coach, and he's been on fire down the stretch, really. 16-3 touchdown to interception ratio over the last 6 games as Middle Tennessee has gotten their act together. And you look at UAB defensively, look, they're here because Bill Clark was able to craft an impressive defense.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill Clark, look, the guy's not going to get any votes for Coach of the Year. He probably deserves all of them. When you think about where this UAB program was being non-existent and where they are right now in a CUSA title game, that as impressive a coaching job as you're going to find. But, you look at the strength of that Blazers defense. They're tied for 1 in Conference USA with 37 sacks, but the reality is that it's their rush defense that's been the dominant unit. They have been vulnerable at times this season to potent downfield passing games.
I think he'll win it. He was the favorite offshore a couple of weeks ago. They shut the program down 2 years ago, and here he is in a conference title game. So great job by Bill Clark, and he's a hot candidate out there.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.